Tonight on News 30, the fear of Ebola rises.
And St. Anthony's begins breast cancer awareness with Pink Day.
Welcome to News 30. I'm Lindsay Skinner.
And I'm Hannah Morris.
News 30 almost did not air tonight. We were unsure for about 30 minutes if we would be able to air. Before 3 p.m. this afternoon, everyone from the Geiger Center, Sarkey's Telecommunications Center, and the library were asked to evacuate for a gas leak. After initial clearing of the area, people on campus were pushed even further back to about 50 yards. We were able to return to the building at 3:30 and the leak was attended to.
Last Friday night, the North Central Texas College softball team was involved in a deadly crash with a semi on their way home from scrimmages against SNU in Bethany. They were heading southbound on I-35 when a semi-truck crossed the median into their lane. Players Caitlin Woodley, Jaden Pelton, Brooke Deckard, and Megan Richardson were killed at the scene, and 2 players are still in the hospital today. 9 players, including the coach, were taken to the hospital and soon released. The semi-driver claims he was distracted by something in the cabin. Oklahoma Highway Patrol said the accident is being conducted as a vehicle homicide investigation. But on a brighter note, the OBU softball team will honor the NCTC softball team at their games this weekend. A ceremony will be held before the game and 4 balloons will be released in tribute for the 4 girls that lost their lives in this tragedy. All day today, the Tasty Affair was at the heartland of Oklahoma Expo Center. Reporter Jake Nelson looked into how this fundraising affects the city of Shawnee. The social event of the year, that is. However, Shawnee Chamber of Commerce member Suzanne Gilbert describes a tasty affair. This is the only fundraising event for the Shawnee Chamber of Commerce. The event is to help raise funds for small businesses and restaurants in the Shawnee area. The event showcased specialty menu items for restaurants in Shawnee and Tecumseh. This event is home to around 25 to 30 restaurants and hosts nearly a sold-out crowd of about 500 people. This is what Suzanne Gilbert had to say about a tasty affair.
We're going into the Ebola story. Hannah, keep going on Ebola.
A Liberian man visiting in Dallas has been diagnosed with Ebola. Texas officials say 100 people, including children, may have had direct or indirect contact with Thomas Duncan while he was contagious. Duncan's case is the first diagnosis in the United States. With the patient just a 3-hour drive from Shawnee, the diagnosis raises proximity concerns. Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin said the state is prepared for Ebola and added that she is not aware of any current threats. Shawnee police are still investigating a stolen car at Oklahoma Baptist University. Tuesday night after 10 p.m., a car was stolen from OBU's campus, but there are no details yet. Shawnee police wants to remind everyone to take the valuables out of their car and to lock their doors. If you ever see anything suspicious on campus, you can call campus police at 405-878-6000.
People with food allergies are accustomed to ritually checking the ingredients on products before they purchase them. But this precaution proves pointless if the ingredient list is incomplete. Mars Chocolate North America Giant Food LLC recently announced a recall of M&M brand milk chocolate theater box candy.
M&Ms are manufactured around multiple other products, making it necessary to list potential allergens on the packaging. The product was recalled when the company realized the boxes failed to report the possibility of containing peanut butter. The product is safe for consumption, but individuals who do not have a peanut allergy are safe. The ingredient is listed on the inside label of the package, and those with severe allergies to peanuts are encouraged to double-check both labels before consuming. Unused portions of the recall candy can be returned to Giant Foods for a refund.
After the break, Nicole Smith will bring our first breast cancer awareness story about St. Anthony's Pink Day.
Stay with us.
Welcome back. An average of 50 tornadoes strike Oklahoma every year. 40% of public schools in Oklahoma are not equipped with storm shelters. Since the devastation of recent tornadoes, Oklahoma has taken to the idea of installing tornado shelters throughout public schools. However, most public schools in Oklahoma are low in budget and cannot afford the building of such shelters. The need for Oklahoma storm shelters and public schools has become a topic of discussion among Oklahoma residents. According to the Tulsa World, Representative Joe Dorman, who represents Rush Springs, proposed a bond issue, taking advantage of the state's rebounding economy and revenue from a business tax that was already on the books. Apart from the opinionated need for storm shelters to secure the safety of children, a debate has begun. Public officials such as Governor Mary Fallin are in favor of cutting taxes in hopes of an increasing business climate. This debate will persevere, as some feel the need for storm shelters is a long-lasting problem that is in need of being resolved. News 30 will keep you posted on how the issue plays out.
Typical after-school programs involve study hall and tutoring, but North Rock Creek School was awarded a special grant that will make their after-school program one of the best in the state. Over the next 5 years, the school will be awarded over $1 million for the development of Kids Rock after-school program. 10 schools throughout the state received the 21st Century Community Learning Center grant. The grant was funded by the Oklahoma State Department of Education in affiliation with the Catch Kids Club, a national program dedicated fighting childhood obesity. The Kids Rock after-school program will give students access to exercise equipment, healthy snacks, and innovative programs like robotics. The first phase of the program should be implemented later this year.
No one likes to bring home a bad report card, but when the low grades reflect 200 schools statewide, there's a reason for concern. On annual State Department of Education report cards, more than a fourth of Oklahoma public schools received a grade D or F. The A through F grading system was an initiative brought by Republican lawmakers, along with several other education reforms. More schools received Ds and Fs than As, with 16% receiving A grades, 26% B grades, 28% C grades, 17% D grades, and 11% Fs. The official State Board of Education grades for each school can be viewed in the department's website.
For monarch butterflies, Oklahoma is a flyover state on their winter migration. Recognizable by their bright orange and black wings, monarch butterflies can be spotted as they pass through during their peak migration season. Northern Oklahomans were able to see them from around September 19th to October 1st, but central and southern Oklahomans should look for them until October 6th.
The butterflies face many obstacles on their countrywide journey. They are surprisingly resilient, but cannot fly in the rain or in temperatures below 60 degrees. Their migration begins in their spring breeding region over the Great Lakes and concludes in Mexico.
Next, Tiami Cortez has the local weather.
And we'll update you on local arts and entertainment after the break.
Welcome back. If you have seasonal allergies, there is no news that allergies are unusually high right now. Oklahoma is under high alert for cedar pollen, and allergists are advising those with severe sensitivity to stay inside. The Oklahoma Allergy and Asthma Clinic cautioned people to stay in filtered air as much as possible.
They also advised avoiding the outdoors, keeping windows closed, taking frequent showers, and removing shoes and other potentially contaminated items before going inside your home. Allergies can also be combated by taking a regimen of antihistamines throughout the season. Advice on which medications to use can be found at most pharmacy counters. Allergies will be rough this season, and Tiami Cortez gives us an update on allergies every week. Let's see what she has to say about the weather this weekend.
Thank you, Lindsay. Last week, we had an outstanding weather consisting of 80 degrees high with no rain. Falling onto this week, we'll be looking at similar climate patterns, starting with a high of around 70 degrees and ending next week with a high of 88 degrees. On a more detailed report, tomorrow we'll be having a high of 70 degrees with a low of 47 degrees. On Saturday, it'll be getting a little bit hotter with a high of 76 degrees and a low of 55 degrees. And we'll end the weekend with a high of 85 and a low of 58 degrees. Despite today being very rainy, you will not need to worry about umbrellas because we won't be experiencing any rain this weekend. Starting the week on Monday, will have a great start with a high of 85 and a low of 60. On Tuesday, the high will reach 88 degrees and a low of 67 degrees. By Wednesday, we'll be having a high of 88 and a low of 68 degrees. The week looks like it will be mostly sunny with little to no chance of rain. Although we'll be having some great weather, pollen will still be affecting us. Today through Saturday, the pollen count for weed is going to be high, and on Sunday the pollen count will increase to very high. Watch your allergies, take precaution, have medicine around to help those allergies, and have fun in the sun. Enjoy your weekend. That is all for your weather forecast. Now Hannah, back to you.
The Little Shawnee Theater presents On Golden Pond. The play will begin next Thursday, the 9th, and run through Saturday, the 18th. On Golden Pond tells the story of Ethel and Norman Thayer, who return their summer home on Golden Pond for the 48th year. Norman is an 80-year-old retired professor with memory loss, but he is still eager for life. Ethel is younger than Norman and delights in the small things of life. The couple is visited by their divorced middle-aged daughter and her dentist fiancé, who then leave for Europe, leaving their teen son behind for the summer. The boy quickly becomes the grandchild Ethel and Norman have always longed for. As Norman teaches the teenager about fishing and good books, he learns lessons about modern teenagers in return. The play will begin at 7:30 p.m. on October 9th, 10th, and 11th, 2 p.m. on the 12th, and again at 7:30 p.m. on the 17th and 18th. Tickets are on sale at the Shawnee Little Theater box office as well as online at ShawneeLittleTheater.com. The box office can be reached at 405-275-2805.
If you find yourself with no plans for this Saturday, the Shawnee Regional Airport will be hosting their annual Shawnee Air Expo. Beginning at 7 a.m. and ending around 3 p.m., the Air Expo will include a fly-in breakfast, opening ceremony, and an air show. There will be plenty of food vendors to keep your hunger at bay and activities for the kiddos to enjoy. If you're interested in helicopter rides and skydiving, there will be a fee to participate in those activities. Scheduled to appear at the Air Expo are the Warbirds, aerobatic performers, various World War II aircraft, and Bob Mills with Sky News 9. For more information, call 405-878-1625. We'll be back with Abby Click's sports update in just a moment.
Welcome back. Let's see what Abby Click has for sports this week.
Thank you, Hannah. As the Thunder prepares to kick off their 2014-2015 season, the team signs 4 new players. OKC adds guard Michael Jackson and forwards Richard Solomon, Lance Thomas, and Talib Zana during training camp. Jenkins bounces back from a season recently played in Italy. Solomon just finished a career at the University of California. Thomas played for the New Orleans Pelicans, and Zana has a history playing at the University of Pittsburgh. With these new additions, the Thunder roster is now at 18. We have an update on the Texas Tech football transfer now at the University of Oklahoma. Baker Mayfield recently applied to have eligibility for the Sooners. However, the NCAA took action and denied the request. Although he will not be suiting up this season, Mayfield was granted a scholarship, allowing Oklahoma to go over their scholarship limit for the season. The football program is only allowed to give out 85 football scholarships a year. This has been a long process for Mayfield, but we hope to see him on the field next season. OBU football dominated over the Southwestern Pirates 51-7 last Saturday. The Bison were able to bounce back after the Pirates took an early lead in the game. After an outstanding performance, 2 OBU players were awarded with Player of the Week. Quarterback Blake Woodard received the Central State's Offensive Player of the Week after finishing the game with 105 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Jalen Garrett was credited with the Defense Player of the Week after completing the game with 7 tackles, an interception, and a pass breakup. Improving their record to 4-1, the Bison will travel to Texas to face Southwestern Assemblies of God University this Saturday at 2 p.m. The Shawnee Wolves captured a major victory during their homecoming game against Noble last week. The Wolves were able to take a strong lead in the first half of the game, leaving at halftime 4-0. Shawnee beat the Bears 49-7. The Wolves completed the game with 451 yards of offense. Shawnee 3-1 and 1-0 in district play will travel to Skiatook to play, and kickoff will begin tomorrow at 7 p.m. That's all for this week. Hannah and Lindsay, back to you.
Well, that's all for News 30 tonight. Remember to watch us again next Thursday at 6:30.
You can also watch the show at www.shawneeok.org/cityconnect and watch the live stream of our show. If you're just viewing the end of the show, you can watch the full show again tomorrow night at 6:30.
Thank you again for watching. Have a great night.